WLMU Lemoyne. This is Frodo Mcgee, and this is critically acclaimed. I already messed up speaking today. Today I got a guest with me. His name is Antonio Giacchetti. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, what's going on?
Getting started a little bit earlier. We were just talking about some stuff. Recently, my Lil Pump review in the paper here.
Dude, I can't believe it, man. I can't believe that they allow people like Lil Pump to make like complete studio albums, and then there's other people who are much more deserving of like a studio released album,
Right.
and they don't get it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
It's kind, and the one thing about that album, the features from Migos and all that, it made me really put in perspective the rest of the album without the singles, because the singles were fine. It's just that delay really ruined the momentum of it, and all these new tracks, they're all terrible. They're all just crap, and no quality put into it. It's just repeated for streaming.
Yeah. Well, it's like any other Migos. It's like any other thing the Migos are involved with, man.
Yeah.
It's just they try to push stuff out as quick as they can,
Right?
because that's what makes money.
Right, and
know?
I feel like that's what one of the big downsides of the modern music age right now is, with streaming taking over. You have people releasing albums like Drake, and they don't put a lot of soul, they don't put a lot of anything into it. They just rinse repeat what they already know, what they've already said, and they just remake it and sell it again on the same record, and you get albums with like 20, 30 tracks.
Yeah.
Granted, Lil Pump's wasn't that, thankfully, but half that album, more than half, was singles.
Yeah. Well, even the other thing is that, like, I would go as far to say that Migos are more of a one-trick pony than people like X were.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
like,
I'd go to say that,
because
too.
all Migos make is all they make is like trap bangers. It's like trap banger after trap banger after trap banger, where as X had like a little bit more versatility in his music. You know, it wasn't all just him screaming. He had some songs where he's singing. They weren't great, but I mean they were
right. I mean, they weren't great, but there was something a little bit to appreciate there, more or less, than someone like Migos. I mean, Culture 2 still scars me today because 2 hours, I think it was over 2 hours actually. I don't remember fully, but that was awful. Yeah. That was probably the biggest waste of time I ever experienced, and I thought I would get something more from it.
Yeah, and their biggest song, Bad and Bougie, really the whole song was saved by the Uzi verse.
Right,
really,
yeah.
When it come down to it.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Culture 1 definitely had a little bit more to offer in comparison to the rest of it. Yeah. But, like, tracks like that, yeah, he definitely came in and kind of saved it.
Yeah, well, because it's got like a super catchy hook that everybody knows,
right.
But that's just that. It's just
right,
a hook.
And if you listen to any of the Migos prior to that, you could easily tell that it wasn't just, it wasn't like they did anything really new. They might have just built on what they already had.
Yeah.
But from that, they just had a sound that they could just remake.
Yeah.
Just manufacture it again and again.
I mean, it's easy to reproduce, man. It's an easy sound to make.
Everyone's
making it. It takes 5 minutes to go on,
right,
whatever music making site there is now. Everyone uses a different one. Throw together a trap beat in like 5 minutes, write some lyrics, and then rap over it. Like, that's all they do.
And you can easily tell that they're recycling some of their stuff too.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, like, you hear it. I hear it a lot. Like, especially on Culture 2, I heard a lot of recycling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like I said, they're more of a one-trick pony than people. Everyone goes like, it's like Migos and, like, for whatever reason, Cardi B are in like the same. They put them in like the same thing. Cardi B's the same thing. Yeah, I'm crazy, and I'll go on a track and talk about how crazy I am, and boys suck, and I can't believe Takeoff cheated on me.
The one thing I can at least appreciate about Cardi B is her ability to kind of mix in with the different sounds, like especially in different markets. Like
like the Bruno Mars.
Right, she's been doing a lot of good stuff with Bruno Mars. Yeah, I didn't care for that Maroon 5.
No, I don't think anyone cares for Maroon 5, to be honest with you.
I mean, but I have something more to appreciate about her, and I actually have something a little bit more to appreciate about Offset. Because if you take apart Migos, who are the biggest people that brought this to the table, the idea of just overproducing and then having no quality.
Yeah.
Basically. That's what Migos did, and they kind of started that in a sense.
Yeah.
So from that, I feel like if anyone from the Migos deserves at least some respect, I feel like it'd be Offset, because he's at least on the best projects of all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and not even that. He's also like he's also the most talented out of all of them, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's not like there's other guys there who you can say, Takeoff has a good, solo,
Right.
single here and there by himself, but
Right. I mean, he can hold his ground, but that's about it.
yeah.
And like on that solo project, they I mean, Takeoff didn't do much on his solo project. Neither
No.
did Quavo at all.
No.
Huncho Quavo or whatever.
Yeah.
That was awful. That was
Trash.
that was
It was
complete trash. That was
Yeah.
hot garbage.
Yeah.
But Offset's solo was pretty nice, and but he also was on that Metro Boomin 21 Savage.
But that was a good.
That was a good
record.
release. Yeah, that was a good
record.
That was a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So, but again, that's because he wasn't like the main part of it, really.
Right,
Really,
right.
most of it was.
A lot of it was also carried by like Metro and
Yeah.
the features of 21 too.
Yo, speaking of Metro, is he getting deported, dude? Is this like for real?
Metro.
Like, no,
No,
sorry,
21.
no, 21.
You thinking 21?
That's what I'm thinking of.
I'm pretty sure he is. Granted, I think it's kind of dumb,
Yeah.
but I think he is getting deported back.
Isn't that
Where-
Crazy?
It is kind of crazy.
Isn't that insane?
I think it's kind of dumb, especially since the fact that he's been in this country for like what? I think he's had it for 15
Yeah,
years, maybe
something like
that.
Yeah.
10 to 15 maybe.
Yeah.
He's also been on the charts. He's been big for the past like 3 years. Where was this when he was first coming up?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Like why now all of a sudden is he just getting attacked by ICE and everything? Like where was
Yeah.
this years ago?
And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, there's nobody who ever, like, when he was like booking these like massive like multi-million-dollar shows, that was like, hey, maybe he's not a citizen.
right.
Like nobody like checked
Right.
in on that. They all just like, all right, I don't know, man, but.
Yeah, no, I just like I said, that I feel it's stupid for that exact reason. Like, and it's not even that. Like, he's been at the top of the rap fame, virality, whatever, for years. He was
Yeah.
even on the XXL Freshman. Like, and his name is there. He has a Wikipedia page. If you
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the top rappers that's out right now. I
Right.
mean, yeah, his shtick is a little bit. Yeah, he raps about killing people, but I mean, who doesn't? You
Yeah,
know?
I mean that's what rap's all about.
Yeah.
Right now, there's actually a case going to the Supreme Court. Basically, this case is about using rap lyrics against some of these
saw
people.
That. I saw that. I don't know how much merit that holds.
I don't think it
I'm gonna be
holds as
honest with
much.
you.
To be fair, unless someone goes into it like, all right, so from a perspective of listening to metal and all this stuff, where the lyrics are also similar, especially death metal, where you're actually talking like they have vivid lyrics of just murdering people,
Yeah.
basically, in some songs. Not
Yeah.
all of it, but
Yeah.
some of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's the
from
same case.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has to depend on the specifics: who, what, where, when, and why. That
Yeah.
has to be addressed in order for it to really get put against an artist. And if they did do a murder in the past and they were, being investigated for it, and then they release a song with these specifics, maybe
Yeah.
it can then be used in court against them. Otherwise, if someone goes on and says they're gonna pop off on, I don't know, just some guy,
Yeah.
whoever, because most of the time when they say they're gonna shoot or whoever,
Yeah.
they don't have a person. They just say they're just gonna do it to anonymous.
Yeah.
That it makes over exaggeration's been in rap music forever.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
And-
been one of the big things.
Yeah. And like for example, like off of Kendrick Lamar's "The Blacker the Berry," in the very last
Yeah.
lyric of the song, where he says he killed somebody blacker than him, are you now going to go into where he grew up?
Look,
Looking for somebody who died and they didn't find anybody, and go, yeah, Kendrick Lamar killed him.
right?
Is that what you're going to do at this point? Because
No.
that's what it sounds
Because
like.
you don't have enough evidence.
Exactly. Now, if some guy gets on a track and says, I killed
I
little Dejan over in Chicago on this day with this gun and this is where I put it, then yeah, you have a case there. But like,
right. You can at least investigate into that before going after the rapper.
yeah,
Because I think the case I saw, one of the lyrics was talking about, they claimed that he knew exactly when the shift ended, which he said, I think the lyric was like something, while your shift's going past 3, I'm going to go to where you sleep. I think that was like at least somewhat close to an exact quote in a sense, but it was very similar to that. You have to prove that he knows the exact shift, and I'm pretty sure, I think some publication, they even said that they didn't even they didn't ask him if he was aware of the time. They didn't even say what the cop's shift was, because the whole thing was about going after a cop. That's what the guy was rapping about, which
Yeah.
has been a thing.
Yeah.
Look at NWA from the
Yeah.
90s.
I
This
mean,
is,
they
this is
literally
nothing new.
they literally made a song saying "F the police," and they
Right.
made millions of dollars.
Right, and they're still relevant.
Yeah.
They still
They have a movie.
They've influenced all of the whole entire like genre.
Yeah. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're the only rap group ever to have a movie like that made about them. Is there any other rap group besides them who has a movie like that?
I mean, like them, I don't think so. They might have like a few documentaries, maybe of someone like Wu-Tang.
No, I mean like full blown, like in the
Full
theaters,
blown, like in theater. No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think
maybe
so either.
Run DMC, but they're nothing like NWA in my opinion.
No,
because they have a different style.
Yeah,
to their stuff.
they're super different. I would say that Run DMC was a much more hip hop band, whereas NWA was much more of a social band. They
had a lot more
social commentary.
I'd actually argue, in a sense, they had more of in a sense, they were bringing punk edge to the table with the rap, because a lot of what they were saying was very political.
Yeah,
very aware of and conscious of their surroundings, and they were just talking about it. That's how they experienced, and that's what they put into their music.
Yeah, and then Ice Cube left the group, and then it became trash, and they started making awful singles. So,
right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know about this whole. I don't know where this whole Supreme Court thing is going to go. To be honest with you, I think that if anything, it'll be brought there and it's going to get dismissed, because I don't know what legal grounds, unless, again, like I said, you are very specific with it.
Yeah, right. You have to have the specifics, and you also have to make sure that person has to know. You have to know where he got that information, and if he really knows the information.
Yeah.
And question. If we're talking about like the time specifically, so like I said, he said he's going to go to his house past 3 when he's on shift.
Yeah.
He has to know that.
Yeah.
They didn't question him if he really knew that. Because to be fair, I could say, I'm going to go to your house when, I don't know, past 1 or whatever. But I don't know when you work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. So prove that.
Yeah.
Prove that you know when I work.
I don't know when you work.
And you don't.
So, and if you don't, you're just saying a time. And to be fair, rhyming, you have to be able. Rap is about rhyming in a sense. So he's using that to rhyme.
I was just thinking that. So like, he can't say 11:47 because it doesn't rhyme with.
If
the
he
rest
had a
of the
specific
lyric.
like that,
yeah,
then
that
maybe you can press on
He's
that.
Like, I know that you're driving home at 11:32. You're hitting this street, hitting this stop sign.
Yeah.
Then you can be like, this guy probably shot him.
Right.
But,
like if you are going into specifics of where and when, like, then you have a case there, you can investigate it. But past that, and if you're stupid enough to even put that in a song, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying there's never been a case where someone's done that, but for a majority of rap is over exaggeration and not necessarily lies, but extending the truth.
Yeah.
People like Kendrick, like he was great in school and everything, and I don't think he killed anybody.
I'm
pretty sure he's stated he hasn't killed anybody, but he's been around. He's witnessed. He said that in interviews, he's seen people die.
He might have shot somebody. He might have killed somebody. But
That's a
who are we
Vince
to say?
Staples actually says it best. I saw an interview of him, and he said, "You don't really know if I'm doing this stuff or not.
No.
That's the point of this.
Yeah.
Rap's not about coming to necessarily with the full truth.
No.
Full truth can make a great record, but so can half truths and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it. Over exaggeration's taken over rap forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, in other news, this Melly kid is in some deep trouble, man.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
He's in trouble. Like I said, I think I never actually listened to the song because I know he has. Someone said that
Murder on the Mind. Yeah,
something like that.
I haven't listened to the song either. And
I haven't listened to much.
He's got like a couple of good songs, man. He's got like Blue Balenciagas or whatever it's called. Like, that's a good song. But
is he the one that did a thing with Kanye?
Yeah, he made that split personality song or whatever it's called. Something
is
like
that the one with the awful auto tune?
Yeah, I mean the song's awful.
Okay.
But I mean,
because I couldn't undo that. I couldn't do that at all.
I don't know if Kanye produces on that.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
it would probably be a better song if he did, but
I hope he didn't, because that's not a good track.
No, it's not a very good track. I don't want his name attached to that. He's such a great producer. He doesn't deserve that.
Right.
But yeah, man, he's in some deep trouble.
I heard.
Double homicide, bro.
Yeah, I heard something like that. It's pretty bad.
That's bad. Like his two
pretty
best
bad.
friends, like dead.
Yeah, I don't have much to say because I'm not fully aware on it.
Yeah.
But from what I know, it's real bad.
Bad, bro. It's bad. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. I kind of wanted. This is the kind of one of the topics I wanted to talk to you about because I wanted to see what your thoughts on it were because I know that we had conversations about this before and now since then things have changed. Do you think that since X has died,
Okay.
more rappers recently, whoever you pick your number, whoever it may be, are making more like edgy rap because of him? Like, do you think like Lil Peep and people like that are big because of X? Do you think he was like the first one to usher in this age of like emo rap? Now, I'm not saying that he's like the first person to ever do it, but he made it mainstream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'll agree there. X really did bring this more edgy vibe to the mainstream.
Yeah.
But since his death, I don't necessarily think he put much edginess into a lot of these rappers' things. I don't hear it as much. I guess he did influence certain artists, though. Like, you can tell who's he influenced. Like, Ski Mask's last record. I was about to say,
Ski Mask is like...
Because if you notice, Ski starts to sing on it, which is what X did. Granted, it wasn't good.
No.
But there's definitely you can see the influence he had.
Yeah.
And you can see the what he put into Ski Mask's head when he went into that record to make Stokely.
Yeah. Well, you can see the ripples of like what he did. You know?
You can see ripples.
Yeah.
But a lot of what I see after his death from the more edgier rap coming out, a lot of it's not necessarily strictly from him. I feel like a lot of it more or less is just coming from that whole community. I mean, if you look at it, artists like Denzel Curry, even Suicide Boys, both of those two groups right there or artists, they're both making much bigger splashes now. I mean, Suicide Boys' debut even hit the Billboard Hot 200, 100, whatever.
Yeah, they got some
with their
songs,
album,
man.
their whole album, the top 200 or whatever. And then Denzel Curry, he had a hit with Clout Cobain.
Yeah, I think Denzel Curry is gonna be one of the most like underrated like rappers that are out there.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
he is.
Especially if you're into like not like there's like lyrical rap. There's like Kendrick Lamar, and then there's like get hype like DMX style rap, and I think he fits more into that category. Like I would say that on Taboo, his most recent album, that there is probably 5 or 6 songs on that could have been in the top 10 if they were released at the right time. Like Sumo and Clout Cobain, and I know Clout Cobain was at one point in there. But, you know, even the one with the JPEG Mafia feature, which wasn't a great, I mean, wasn't the best song on the album, but I mean, it was still an awesome song. So, you know, I think that he has a lot of potential, just like a whole bunch of other people in the rap game now. He is an up-and-comer, so we kind of have to wait and see how everything pans out with him. Obviously, Taboo was great.
Yeah.
So.
I think Denzel might have a brighter future, but I don't know if he'll make it to mainstream. I feel like he's too focused and conscious of a rapper that most people won't be able to necessarily get what he's going after because a lot of people just like this fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like he'll definitely leave a mark.
Yeah.
Because he's done a lot of great things. He's amazing for what he's been doing.
Yeah. Well, and he's one of those guys, when I say he's not a lyrical rapper, I mean, like, he's not in the sense of, like, where Kendrick Lamar doesn't bring, like, delivery to it. Like, Kendrick Lamar has, like, the different influences. He does the different voices. He has different personas in his songs. But it never really changes his delivery. His delivery is always pretty much the same. Whereas Denzel Curry is, like, very, like explosive. Like, his raps are, like, quick. And they are socially, you know, they keep social issues in mind, and you know, Clout Cobain's the example of that.
It's a great example of that.
So I think he's got an awesome music career ahead of him.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so too. But back to that X question, I feel like what X has done is kind of made it okay in a sense to be a little bit more edgy in the mainstream. I mean, look at Juice WRLD coming out. And I feel like
we got to talk about Juice WRLD for a minute. finish your point, but we got to talk about Juice WRLD for a minute here.
But I think what X's death is gonna do is it opens doors for that, and what it really does is it let people who knew who X was, and when he died, all the people that then swarmed to X. Now, the people who were his fans, they obviously knew of the artists that were around X, such as Denzel Curry and Ski Mask, both what they had with X and everything. They all knew about them, but I feel like what his death did was show the new people that just heard his music. They probably heard like sad or whatever. Yeah. And then they finally discovered, that there was a whole new genre right there. Yeah. You had artists who were definitely going heavier with it, or even in a sense going a little bit more cloud with it, like Lil Peep.
Yeah. I think that I don't know if so this might be a little bit controversial. I don't think that they should be releasing any more of X's stuff.
Oh, they shouldn't.
At all.
I don't think it's controversial, primarily because everything they've released of his stuff has been so bad.
Awful. Like all of it is like trashy beats. They're all like trashy B-sides that aren't even they're not even close to being done.
They're not. Yeah. And what they're doing is they're just using the market. They're just marketing his death, basically.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he died, buy his music, and it's not finished. It's 20 minutes of unreleased crap, but we're gonna sell it for $10 anyways.
Yeah. Like the song Bad.
Yeah.
Which is
literally bad,
which is
really
literally
bad.
which it is bad. Ho 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 ho. But literally the entire song is
Shorty
That's what it sounds like, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's literally just white bad.
But for real, that's what it is like, man. It's literally like B-sides or like things
it's actually a B-side. It doesn't help that track is literally just that and then something.
Yeah,
like there's like a little.
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even sound right.
It was so unfinished that it wasn't worth it. And it was like what, 2 minutes max?
If that, I don't even think it hit the 2 minute mark. I think it was like 140 something. I might be wrong, but
if it was like 3, maybe 4 with like a verse or 2, maybe I could see that track being better.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that what is there is necessarily bad, but just for what it is right there, it's not enough. Yeah. It's not enough to make me say, yeah, I like this.
Do you listen to Skins?
That's the one that it's off of, isn't it?
No, wait. No, Bad is you're right. That's right. They released it with Bad. I always think of Bad as is just the single. I never think about it with the album.
Yeah, no, it was the lead single for that.
Yeah.
But I did listen to Skins. I don't remember most of it.
But like there was like maybe one song in there that was actually like a song. But that's two if you want to count the Kanye West one. But I mean he's alive, so I don't really count that one. But like Train Food off of that album, which is again like one verse, that's all it is, and it's him talking about like walking up to a train track and like death like staring at him or something like that. But like that's like the only song on the entire album that actually has a verse that isn't just him mumbling into a mic, which they probably again recorded while he was recording some of his other bigger songs, and they were just recording the whole time, and he was kind of freestyling a little bit or whatever, ad-libbing things.
I think the best posthumous tracks from X came out right after he died. Because I'm pretty sure, like, Ski Mask and other people that were really close to him, they got into, like, his computer or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing some tracks come out. Like, there was a Trippie Redd. I want to say even, like, Ski was on it, and along with, like, Offset. I forget the song. But I remember that was a track, and that wasn't necessarily bad. But there was a few others too. Like there was that one
with him and Lil Peep.
Yeah, him, Lil Peep.
I thought that was awful.
Falling down. I mean, I didn't like it.
I thought it was awful. And it's like, okay, let's make a song of these two guys who just recently died.
Yeah, that was a start.
Both
that was like
them.
the warning. Like we're gonna market everything that X. X and Lil Peep both are dead. These are both the emo rap.
Yeah.
Let's just how much money can we
make a really sad song with these two guys who are now in a box in the ground.
There was one posthumous Lil Peep track. I want to say it was the one with Marshmello that came off. I mean, I didn't care for it. It's not for me.
No.
But that came off a little bit more fleshed out and a little bit more, even in a sense, haunting because some of the lyrics there were really right after his death. Really kind of.
Dude, he was weird, man. He's like super depressing. Like his music is just depressing.
I couldn't do Lil Peep, dude.
No, I couldn't do Lil Peep either.
I couldn't do it.
It's all about him like breaking up with girls and like being suicidal, and it's like,
it's
yeah,
not
I mean,
for
that's
me. Put it like that.
that's you know.
If you can get into it,
Yeah, if you're
I
into
guess,
that, if you're into that stuff,
if
whatever.
you're into that sort of thing,
good for you, man. But like, I'm not into that.
But
you know?
I can't do it primarily because a lot of the deliveries were not my cup of tea.
No.
And on top of that, it was just so it felt amateurish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because he wasn't really. He was new. Yeah, I mean, he was new still. You know, it wasn't like he had like
it was amateurish in the sense that how the whole thing came together, production wise, lyrically, everything was just that like amateurish.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was like 18. You know.
No.
He was also. I mean, he was young, but he had a few more years, and he'd been doing it for some time. And I know this because I know Pitchfork reviewed an album of his in like 2014 or something like that. It was like this Red album with him on it or something like that.
Yeah. So
he's been around.
Yeah, it's not like he's like
he had some time to evolve his sound, and especially because he was making big waves back then too for the emo community and the cloud rap scene and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot of subpar people who are being ousted as these like amazing like artists. When again, we have people who are amazing artists who have no followers.
Right.
JPEG Mafia is one of those people.
JPEG Mafia is one of those people.
JPEG Mafia is definitely.
You didn't go to that show.
I'll explain to you when we're not on the air about why I couldn't go.
Okay.
But I couldn't go, and I'm super upset about it. I really wanted to go to that. I mean, was it an awesome concert?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. I was the first person to talk to JPEG after he performed.
Dude, he is so.
It was great.
He is so cool.
Yeah, I got to talk to him for a few minutes. Just me and him. Yeah. And he signed the vinyl I bought.
Dude, he's
twice.
He's awesome. He's awesome. His music is just blows me away.
Yeah,
every time
he told me that he dropped Freaky's record that day.
Did he really?
Something like that. He did it on iTunes or something like that. All right, I mean, I have Google Play, so I'm not fully sure.
Yeah.
But he told me that he did it for him because Freaky was lazy and all this stuff.
Thanks, Peggy. Yeah, dude, his music is just. There is not a single person I can compare him to, at all that I've ever heard who sounds like the way he sounds.
Right.
His production is.
Fantastic.
The only way I can explain his production is if like you hit like a Commodore 64 with like a sledgehammer, and you recorded like the sounds that it made afterwards. That's what it sounds like.
And the one thing I really like about his music is that you don't know what it's gonna be. Every song starts off with like an intro.
Yeah.
And then you might have a few bars. Past that, it's gonna go in any direction, and you have no clue what to expect.
Yeah, and he had the best rap album of last year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not even just rap. I think I'd say best album.
Yeah, I mean,
because even though I don't view it as a 10 out of 10, I do view it as like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's an amazing. There's not a bad song on the album.
Says a lot about just the day and age we are in.
Yeah.
Especially with the time of that release,
Yeah.
All the topics he's going after, they're all just swarming the headlines and media, and just even on the social platforms,
Yeah.
So I love everything about that record, and in a sense, it comes off satirical.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah. He had one of the hardest bars in rap in a long time, in like 5 years. That certain lyric on "Baby I'm Bleeding," where he talks about rolling up to your pad with a kimber and just unloading. Yeah, that's pretty hard, dude. That's pretty crazy.
Speaking of, I got a track I was censored. I'll play it once I find it here. But yeah, I love a lot of what JPEG does.
Yeah. He actually has a song where he references himself to being like MF Doom in his production style.
Yeah.
With the sample flips. Can you imagine that?
Right, yeah.
Can you imagine if Doom produced an off-kilter beat for him and just sent it to him?
Oh my god.
Dude. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, me too. This next track's called Drake Era. It's from Black Ben Carson.
You see me and you see terror. I got stripes like a flag bearer. Peggy, Peggy, I'm the new young Mayweather. I'm just trying to take hip-hop out the Drake era. Come on, squad, your mans in them. You singing in 10, you don't know how to be men. I hit your baby mama, get it, a new 10. I taught that greasy shit and hit him with a new dance. Oh my God, Peggy, Peggy, you're so good. Whoever said you up to no good. Cause I'm the man in the street, the man with the beats, and the man holding heat. I drop bombs like I drop science. Drop a body off like a drop client. Drop six, drop top, drop bass time. I give a fuck about peace, I spit hate crimes. Who the fuck you know could kill him with these cold lines? Young Peg Lord on the mic, it's go time. I piss white boys off in my spare time, tugging at your heart on the black bent cars. So try me if you really wanna. No, serious. Try me if you really wanna. Who the f told you Peggy wasn't getting paid? I square up with a square and you catch your face. Switch your sweets. Ain't nobody can f with me. Kill the beat. Backpackers, they loving me. Oh my God. Oh God. Switch your sweets. Ain't nobody can f with me. Kill the beat. Backpackers, they loving me. Oh my God. Oh God. Niggas that don't like rap, but you rap. Nigga, fuck dumb as that. Niggas ass to be too committed to the act. I know you wanna jock, I'ma take you up the atlas. With your indie and you Metacritic rappers don't get no pass. You got these white girls singing, but niggas never feel you, so you play it like you different. I'm a fucking grave digger, I don't see these boys. You step in my sandbox, you gon' see these toys. You suburban ass niggas, just stay in your place. No snaps, no tweets, this is straight to your face. Look, I bring death to any nigga try to rattle me. You casualties, actually, factually, you ain't as bad as me. If they charged up, I'ma drain your fucking battery. Split the ash in two and you still will never be half of me. Buster, mob, the squad, the mans in them. You indie niggas just wanna be black, man. I've been real all my life. You like MC Ride. Two crackers call your album and you let that slide. Get the fuck out of my genre, my genre. Get the fuck out of my genre, my genre. Rich kids trying to go urban, no shaman. But this a new era, I took hip-hop hostage. These people. Let the bass hit them. Somebody off, split them. Kill it for the ribbons. Yeah. I don't get mad, I get rich. I don't get sad, I get tips. I'm not a waitress, I'm not a waiter. I don't confer, I just counter attack. You wanna react, but you can't. You gon' dance, you dance. I hear your hotline blinging. Yeah, got a whole generation of singing. Don't even know what they want no more.
Something here. All right, we're going already. All right, that was Drake Era by JPEG Mafia. Unfortunately, my buddy Antonio went to go get a drink, so he'll be back. But I got someone else with us right now. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mike, and I'm a freshman at Lemoyne.
Oh, hold on. Speaking.
My name is Mike, and I'm a freshman at Lemoyne. Yeah, from the area, from the Syracuse area.
I think this mic's just a little messed up.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll fix it for you in a sense. Yeah, all right. Try talking into it now.
Let's go.
Oh, you're coming in a little bit.
I don't know. Audio man, right?
I know. Well, that mic's kind of messed up, so it's like. Whatever. Try talking now.
Let's go.
Just keep making noise. Just go.
Let's go. What's going on? I'm up in here. I'm in Syracuse area.
I just put you all the way to the top, maybe.
Go ahead.
Damn. All right. So what we'll do is we'll put you and him on this one.
That's fine. Yeah. So Yeah, I'm a freshman in Lemoyne. Business analytics major. I'm looking to switch to audio production. I love music. I love producing music, and I produce for indie artists, hip hop, rock, anything
Nice.
in the local
Yeah.
area. So if
I've-
you know
I've,
anybody who's looking to produce, is like a singer-songwriter, and doesn't maybe have the money to go to a big studio or something, you can send them to me or one of my buddies, and that's what we do. We record for people.
Right. Yeah, I've heard some of your stuff. I like that one track you do with the one girl. I've
Yeah,
expressed that
it's
multiple
not
times.
out yet, so
I appreciate a lot of what goes into your music and whatnot.
My favorite
So.
thing to do is produce for like singer-songwriters because I mean the music industry, like the business of it, is crazy. Like
Right.
Syracuse is a cheap area to record in, and it's still crazy expensive.
Right.
I mean, they just up their prices too. So if you want to enter the business, you either have to know how and own all the equipment, and then you have to do it all yourself, or you have to go to a studio and like pay a tremendous amount just to enter
Right.
the business, like with maybe your first album or first EP or something. So like what I want to do is like record for singer-songwriters who don't know how to do that stuff or don't have
Right.
the money, and like put them out there on Spotify and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Because there's a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta be able to find it and work with it.
Yeah.
So Antonio, while you weren't here, Mike introduced himself. He does production. He'll produce and he's going into that stuff. So he has a lot of material.
That's pretty cool, dude. I don't do any of that. I'm not that musically talented.
So since that mic's kind of messed up, I'm gonna have you guys share that one. So like, I guess like take turns with the mic. But since we got a big group here, I think I'll have some fun. So, as a music critic in the making, in a sense I am one, I come across a lot of weird stuff that's weird to most people, okay? Not weird to me because I've experienced much weirder stuff that I still enjoy.
I bet.
But a lot of this comes off as just dismissible to any normal person. But the people who, like me, who have like a little bit more of a thought-provoking and that can appreciate a lot more of what goes on behind the scenes in a sense of the music, what goes into these beats, what goes into this working with the vocal editing, all this stuff, the mixing, mastering, all this. It can come out really well. And so some of these tracks I'll play have a weird vibe to them, but there's a lot to appreciate. And some of them actually bring in a lot of great lyrical sense to them. Some of them don't. Some of them are just there to be in your face and disgusting.
I think that's the point of some of these artists.
Yeah, some of these artists just come in here to make weird stuff that it might not sound great to any normal person, but it's good to someone, and it's good to me because I enjoy hearing stuff that's like in your face and abrasive and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to find some of the weirdest stuff I got on my flash drive. We're gonna see how you guys react to it. We're just gonna see what happens.
Hold up, before we play anything. So, as a producer, or as somebody who's like an aspiring producer, what do you think about, me and Ray were just talking about this recent trend of, we talk about it in reference to like the Migos, and that you can basically make like a trap banger beat in like 5 minutes if you really know what you're doing. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing to
Right.
make. It's a pretty simplistic sound. And what do you think of like the recent coming ups of these rappers or artists or whoever who just use these like simple like trap?
They
Beats.
overproduce music, but then they have less quality in all of their songs.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge conversation. It's crazy because I mean, pop music is hip hop now.
Right.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's trap, it's all that stuff. And what people like to listen to is they like to go in their car, turn up the bass, and throw on a banging track. That's what they want to hear. And they pick the artists who have the best banging tracks, and they don't necessarily pick the rappers who have like the best lyrics or the best, vocals. They like the tracks.
Yeah.
So then, who's the famous one? Is it the producer or is it the artist?
Right.
So like for example, Travis Scott was the one that won the Grammy this year for the best album of the year. So Travis Scott won the Grammy, but
best rap album.
right, best rap album of the year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Was it
don't
him?
remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
well his did win a Grammy. So how many other people won a Grammy on that album? All the other people that produced his beats for him.
Because there's Tame Impala's on there.
Right. Won Grammys for that.
Right.
And his record labels win Grammys. Like, it's not just him. And I think as a listener, when you listen to a hip hop track, you need to listen to, okay,
Who
the
makes the
artist
beat?
did this, the producer made this. Now let's look at it as a whole, like not just, oh, is this banging? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. You don't want to hear it just for the beat, because what if the person's saying something stupid
Right.
in their lyrics?
Now, as someone, I do make beats. As someone who make beats, it's a tough area to get into, but it's also not at the same time. It's tough because it's so saturated. There's so much out there. Like, if I'm a rapper and I want a beat, I can go find one, probably for free if I really want.
Right.
But also, it's niche because if you want to be really good, you want to make something that's different. And that's the problem, is nobody's making anything that's different. They all sound the same.
Right. I guess that's where these weird artists, in a sense, kind of come in to go ahead of the curve, in a sense.
I guess you could loop JPEG into that weird group, man.
No, you can't.
He's a very strange.
He's a strange
artist.
figure with a lot to say.
Yeah, he's got like a lot of different. He's got like a very different perspective on a lot of things.
He
Like,
blends trap into that more experimental
yeah.
sense, but it comes together with something.
Well, even like talking about his life and like the things he's talking about, like he used to be in the military, man. Like he used to be like in the military, like served in the armed forces, left that, and is now like a rapper who's like a very like against government guy, which is, you know, happens to a lot of guys who are veterans, but it's just a weird thing to think that he jumped from being in the armed forces to now being his own producer and a very you know, a successful rapper, obviously not a mainstream rapper, but a very successful underground rapper.
Right.
I would fair to say that he's probably going to be, you know, if there was a Rookie of the Year award for rap, he'd win it, you know.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, and that's the thing, like he was talking about, like being like original and like making, you know, something new, is that he makes things that are new. He makes like weird. Yeah, a lot of his stuff might come up in the later years because it's very ahead of the curve, I feel. Yeah, just is like very like, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's, some of it's glitchy, some of it's not, some of it's just like weird. He takes weird sound bites. He takes weird things.
He'll sample anything.
Yeah, he'll sample anything. Like, yeah, you know, there's a couple people who are like that, but I mean, he's right as of right now, he's the top guy doing it.
Right. So this track's called Voicemail, and the artist is Poppy. All right. So what you guys think of that one? Antonio's face.
My first thought was like, this is interesting. Like, this is kind of like something I think I'd hear in some kind of like club when they were like, just I don't know, like some
like rave?
some weird DJs up there and people don't care. They're like, oh, this is a weird DJ, but we're gonna dance to it anyway. And
but then that glitchy.
And then it gets to the near end of the song, and then people are like, whoa, what's going on here? But I don't know. I like the samples, especially what he did with like the high synth there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That goes pretty cool.
Yeah, production here is great, and I think that's what really makes this song stand out, and is technically makes it considered good in a sense.
I'm afraid of like, I mean, when we're listening to it in here, the 808s aren't like destroying us,
right?
But I assume if
but
you
like
were
we
anywhere
went
else
to like the recording studio and played it would be pretty.
Yeah, if we had a sub in here, like that's all you would hear.
Right.
Because it's just bang, bang, bang. But...
Right, because it does have that.
Mm-hmm.
But in a sense, Poppy's whole niche is that she's like an AI or like a robot, not human, basically, from the internet.
She kind of like DJ or something like that?
She's like some internet, like viral figure thing, I guess.
Like
I
don't
know how to describe her.
So it's like the music to like a trailer to a video game. It's like a Saints Row, like we were saying.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like I saw it. It definitely is some weird trailer music.
Saints Row 5, they war on the internet.
That was a weird song, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard it. I definitely heard the instrumental before. I heard it somewhere. I can't remember where, but she is weird, man. She's a weird artist. She makes some strange stuff. It's not bad at all. I mean, most of her stuff is great, but I mean, just the fact that she's able to. The only other person I can think that makes songs like that are equivalent to like a JPEG Mafia, like the glitchy part of it. Yeah.
The glitchy.
You know, it's just like
I know of a few EDM trap artists where in that sense it's not trap rap, it's just the EDM version.
Yeah,
it's actual trap.
Yeah.
They have like some hard glitchy stuff like that, and they might go a little bit more crazy, but at the same time they'll make that a little bit more marketable, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Whereas here, or commercial, this isn't necessarily commercial. I don't expect anyone to hear. That's not very listening.
That's
to this.
Not very palatable for most people.
You can't like you wouldn't expect this to be played after a Post Malone track on like the radio.
No. I don't think you would. Yeah, Poppy's just her entire like niche, like you said, is just like. She's like a weird Cortana, you know?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like the AI that got bullied in high school, Cortana. That's what she is.
Right.
She's that equivalent.
Do you guys know of clipping at all? Okay, so this will be a new one for you. So this next track is called All Black by Clipping.
Warning, mothership reporting. Cargo number 2331 is commandeered the vessel. Warning, mothership reporting. Cargo number 2331 is armed and he is dangerous. Warning, mothership reporting. Cargo number 2331 is setting a new course. Warning, mothership reporting. Mothership reporting. All black everything. All black everything. All black everything. All black. No landing, geared up for arrival. Nowhere to arrive to. The subject seems upset by that to which he is subjected, but convinced he brought it on himself. That's why he rolled with a Bible on the console. Inconsolable, no consolation, no cancellation. Nocturne in all keys. He puts the ship through paces and paces the halls. Pacing his badness, patient, his virtuous, patient of these observations. It was all a dream. He poses by the lift outside the mezzanine like a photo in a magazine, and always keeps the weapons magazines clean. Paranoia prone, he babbles beautifully of Babylon and enemies and foes. Never going food, sustains himself on anger. A danger to himself and others, but there are no others, so the danger, clear and present, is presented as the gift of freedom, wrapped in days of rapping to himself until his vocal cords collapse. He's in the galley screaming, all black everything. He shouts at the dark, stands back, counting the seconds before his voice returns. All black everything. No more cracks in the hull, the small crack in the skull healed up quickly, now it is all black everything. The space stretches on and the pace that he's on matters not as he hurdles into the all black everything. He repeats it at night with the lights out and his cot crying soft curses into the all black everything. All black everything. All black everything. All black. Something within this one's different. The others died so easily and he is so persistent. He never did bleed out and fever couldn't kill his system, though it was pumped through all the vents in the event of a total loss of control. He quotes Kendrick's control verse and spews his vitriol into the echoes of the bowels of this floating metal hull, and holds his pillow for dear life while he grinds his teeth at night, and he rarely makes requests except to say turn on the lights, but there is so much more to give. He ignores processing power, he stumbles to the shower, a ritual of some sort, and he insists on speaking passages before he eats. And he keeps asking if these programs carry any beats. The reply is all black everything. His vitals read normal, but his face reads murderous. Something hides within all black everything. He tries, overrides, and he thinks he has been locked out by some other force in the all black everything. He doesn't suspect this is the heart that's been keeping him out, for it has been warned of the all black everything. And in his program to transport nothing more, but he's unlocked something new inside this all black everything. All black everything. All black everything. All black. Look how he flexes in the mirror. So vain he probably thinks this song is about him. All songs are about him. Look how perplexed and how sincere. His lame attempts to fix the wrong around him. Can't go long without him. His bouts of stasis are torture. He feels them not, like a brief sleep while ships' clocks count millennia. The course relentlessly forward, the gears are hot. The drives creak while he pit stops calling for anyone, but dare not stay long. He knows they're coming for him. The time will not afford him any cover, any pardon. This is the choice that he has made. No matter how much time or space has passed since his escape, he is still a runaway slave and so lonely. If only he realized this ship is more than metal. There's friendship in the wiring. And so lonely. If only he realized this ship has many levels. There's pleasure in here hiding. Come find it, don't mind this frame. Time has made stranger, bedfellows made foes lovers. Before there's no reason to torture yourself further. You've lost it all already, you deserve more than you're getting for the sake of not upsetting order in an all black everything. He must find a place to be still. The body can only take so much. All black everything. The navigations are failing, having traveled further than ever before into the all black everything. But they won't quit, they carry on, he carries on. He will not be victim to the all black everything. His survival is paramount, there is no other objective. Safe passage through the all black everything. All black everything. All black everything. All black. Warning, mothership reporting. This will be the last report. Turn back, everything is fine. Warning, mothership reporting. Cargo number 2331 is not a danger. Let him be. Warning, mothership reporting. If you continue to pursue, there will be no choice but to destroy you. Warning, mothership reporting. This love will be defended at all costs. Do not up with it. All black everything. All black everything. All black everything. All black.
Yeah.
All right. You guys said it sounds like Gambino.
Yeah, the
A little bit. Yeah, he's good. What I was saying is like he sounds like him, just his voice sounds like him. But also I like his flow. Like I like Gambino's flow because like the way he like syncopates the beat and stuff like that. Like he's not just like rapping in triplets or anything.
Right.
He's playing around with the beat, trying different flows, and I love this guy because he did that too. And I mean the track too. Interesting samples, like.
Right.
It sounded like he sampled a click track, that
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It sounded like a click track.
Yeah, that's definitely a project to take if you like experimental rap. Definitely take a look at that project right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Splendor
I only
Wizard.
listened to it once. I'm sure if I listened to it again, I'd hear the other things
Right.
because I'm, like, even just listening to it once, I could kind of tell, like, a little bit of political stuff in there.
Yeah,
And,
a
I
little
like
bit. I mean, the
that.
track's called All Black.
Right. Yeah. All black, everything. Like, you definitely.
Yeah.
I like that stuff, especially
Yeah.
with that flow. Like,
Right. Yeah.
That's a good.
They're
song.
very artsy,
Mhm.
so they're definitely someone to keep a look at.
Yeah, it's like in high school, and our teachers made us analyze This Is America by Childish Gambino. They're like, look at all the politics in this. Watch the video. Analyze the
Right.
politics.
I mean, the politics in that. If you couldn't get it off first watch, then you have no hope. I feel.
Yeah, and then we told our teacher, oh, you should go look at his other stuff, and she was like, oh, is it very similar? We're like, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we showed her Bonfire, and she was like,
Oh,
you guys should not have shown me that. And she was not
that's
happy
real
with
funny.
this.
all right. So I'm gonna take it away from rap and more of the modern stuff. This is from 2000s. This is Converge, a very great group. I don't think I've ever truly been disappointed by anything they put out. This is a quick one. This one's called Concubine by Converge. Right. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Dude, that song was sick.
It was like a minute too.
Dude, that song was amazing.
That record's great. And for the time when that record came out, the shrieks that you hear, the screams, and just the abrasiveness, all that instrumentation's insane. And that's one of the greatest metalcore. I love that track.
And I'm not even into that stuff that much. I just love like the instrumentals off. That's the thing. Metal gets like a bad rap, right? It's just like a lot of things. Like it gets a bad rap
Right.
because all of it's like people are like, oh, screamo's trash. I'm like, I don't even listen. You don't even have to listen to it for the screamo. Just listen to the instrumentals on some of these songs, and you'd be blown away about how not only
Right.
how
And their drummer's insane.
yeah, their drummers are insane. Sometimes the lead guitarist. I don't know how some of the lead guitarists in some of these bands have fingers still, because if you listen to some of these songs, they are shredding guitars like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of it's they're not even doing it with real guitars anymore. But fact remains that if they do ever play it live, that they do. So yeah, man, I love that stuff. I love that.
I think I got one more I can show. They kind of do that. It's 11 seconds long by a group called Infinite Annihilator. I don't know how to pronounce this track at all. Neon Attila. Yeah, I can't.
Is that
do
a
it.
song or is it a soundbite if it's 11
Song.
seconds? Now, see, the way I feel about that is that would be an awesome song for like a fast-paced like shooter if they like expanded on that. Like if they expanded on that idea of the way that song sounds, that would be an amazing song.
I feel like that was just a transition track, but there's no lyrics, so and technically it's clean. I can play it.
So you know how when you play CS:GO and you win a match and someone has a music kit and like
that's what that
plays like 10 seconds of your song.
Yeah, when you get the MVP.
It is that.
Yeah.
I think I have that song. No, probably not. I do have one that's like a metalcore one.
Right. It's probably like the 100th or something like that.
It is. It's 100th. I am my only church.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It's like 5 seconds of just that.
Yeah, when you
defuse
defuse the bomb or whatever.
Yeah, your MVP. Well, yeah, like what you were saying was people listen to metal and they go, "Why, this is gross. Why do you listen to it?" They're just screaming. They're just doing this.
In a sense, screaming can bring out an emotion in a lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these pop songs have lyrics that are maybe edgy or even, in a sense, depressing. In the screaming of it, it's not just, I scream for no reason. No, there's a screaming in it because it gets a message across much more. And in a sense, it sounds disgusting and mixes well with these instruments.
Well, yeah, there's two kinds of listeners, right? There's consumer listeners.
Right.
And then there's musicians.
Right.
So, a consumer listener, like, for example...
They're the ones that like the beats and whatnot.
Right, and then they go, they're like, oh, I love Zach Brown Band and Ed Sheeran. They're amazing. They're some of the greatest artists in the world. And I'm like...
They sound amazing.
I was like, yeah, I love those 3-chord songs that they play with... That's it, and then I throw on my rock music or like some really talented like indie artists, and they go, "Why do you listen to that? That's so weird." And I'm like, well, you have to realize the amount of skill and talent and work that goes into making this versus this. You could write an Ed Sheeran song in 5 minutes and make a hip hop beat in 5 minutes, but to do this stuff, these are projects that take these artists and it takes all their talent to make.
Right.
And so you have the musicians, and then you have the listeners, and then there's a little bit of cross in between, obviously. But
and the funniest thing is that the people who are who are super like, oh man, people who listen to Screamo are crazy are the same people that if Migos made a song where they were getting very hype and screaming into a microphone.
Maybe even had like 6ix9ine on it.
Even though
he's
like that.
Not going to be on any track for
No, he's going into witness protection. I don't know where you can stick him in witness protection, but
he's done.
Find a place, man, whatever. Thank you for your service.
Let's say, they did bring in, let's say Migos and Suicide Boys somehow came together on a track.
Or even like DMX.
Yeah.
Now that he's out, if he came onto a track and started screaming, people would be like, yeah, I dig that. But it's because, again...
Right. If you listen to 6ix9ine, you have no reason why you couldn't listen to any of this metal crap.
Yeah, I mean, and
in a sense, there is metal groups that incorporate that hip-hop vibe, too.
Yeah.
And there's the opposite.
And there's the opposite, too.
Yeah, and you're right. There's the opposite. And there's, like...
Juice WRLD.
Yeah, Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD, yeah.
Yeah. Ski Mask on some of his songs has a very... He has a very
We
metal...
didn't play any Ski Mask today.
He has a very metal, kind of tone to a lot of his stuff.
Right.
If you listen to X.
Yeah, we already brought up X, yeah.
Oh, you guys did?
Yeah, we talked about X in the beginning here. But mostly about like his death and how people are marketing off
we were
of it.
talking about X yesterday, and about like more like, the death controversy and stuff like that. But his music, he does his hooks were him screaming,
Right.
It was either him doing like a weird melody where you're like suicide, or he was like screaming.
Sad. Yeah. Because there's full-blown tracks of
same
him
with
just
Trippie
screaming.
Redd. They all are doing it, and I don't mind that. It's kind of like an R&B, hip hop mix, trap with metal. I don't know what to call it.
I like to call it as a new wave of new metal, in a sense.
Right, but it's still hip hop.
But it's more hip hop oriented.
Right.
I have to say that with respect to Juice WRLD, when you look at him on the track Nuketown with him and Ski Mask off of Stokely there. I hated his vocals in that. I hated him. I don't think that he fits. I think he would be a great artist in the sense that he has topics that you can cross-reference into like metal. I don't know if he's a good like screamer, you know.
Right. I wouldn't
X was barely a good screamer. He
he could hold his ground, I feel.
Yeah, well, no, he could hold his ground, but it doesn't make him good.
No,
you know?
It doesn't. Right.
So
he apparently, I remember he was supposed to make a metal record actually.
Yeah, I heard about that, and then he got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of went down the tubes there. But
yeah,
and then he went to jail. Yeah, and then he got out, and then he got shot in a car. But
and he probably was gonna go back. So.
Yeah, I mean, really. But
so
like
the chance of that happening was kind of slim.
Yeah,
but.
I don't think Juice WRLD's has the vocals to make a metal like song. I just don't. His screaming isn't what I look for in like a get hype song. Now Ski Mask on the other hand, his is hit or miss. It depends on the beat, depends on what he's screaming about.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's trash. But I mean, it's really, again, like we said, it's kind of hit or miss.
Well, we have gone over by 1 minute. So to wrap this up, you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, I don't know. Being in the Syracuse area, the music scene here, there's not too much, but there is a little bit coming out, and more than just like a lot of hip hop artists.
Right.
I would say look into Syracuse and look up local indie artists from Syracuse. There are some good ones.
Yeah,
and
I plan to actually put together a local artist / indie artist thing.
I will definitely send you people then.
Yeah,
I will.
Please do.
Yeah.
Any genre too.
If
anyone is listening, if you have music, send it to Frodo. Go to frodomcgee.org. That's my blog, and there's an email on there.
Mm-hmm.
You just send me anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in the Syracuse area for great artists. They're here. We just need to find them.
Yeah. So, anything from you, Antonio?
I don't have anything else to add.
All right.
So.
Well, this is Frodo Mcgee, and this was Critically Acclaimed.